It was awesome. They came together. Um, my bestie, one of my besties put together an awesome dinner for me. Her family did. It was so awesome. It was amazing. I caught myself trying to surprise one of my sisters, and I got to surprise myself. And I saw my other sister, and my sister in law got me my best gift that I've been wanting for a long time. My sister in law, my brother got my gift. You know, but again, not to mention all of that. I only said that just so people know how appreciative I am of just some of the small things that they do for me. Just call and check and see if how do I need something, or just checking in. How are you doing? A lot of times we'll say okay. Stop saying you're okay if you're not okay. Share that moment when you're not okay and let them know why you're not okay. Because everybody in this world is not okay. I don't care how many times you walk around and hear people say, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm okay." Not everyone is okay. Majority of those people are not okay. I asked that question one time to one of my cousin-in-laws, which I absolutely adore and love. And for the first time, I got one of the realest answers from anyone. And she basically just let me know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm okay. And that put a smile on my face so big, the fact, because I was shocked. I was really shocked because I'm like, wow, I finally feel like somebody answered that question real. And it was amazing. Like that feeling felt so good because when I tell you this whole being real with yourself thing, um, it feels amazing. Like it feels so good to just be real with yourself. It's not even about being real with others. It's more so about being real with yourself. It feels so good, like so good. Even now, I can wear my pride stuff and go outside and don't even care. Like that feels so good because I could be real with myself. You know, Ask me if I'm gay nowadays. Yeah, I am. Sure is. It just feels good to not have to lie or not be nervous about, that question. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels good. Like, when you start being real with yourself, trust me, life feels so much better. And mental health journeys cannot end overnight. They cannot end in weeks. They will not end in years. I am telling you, it can take one small thing to make you relapse back into depression. you know, and a lot of people are out there struggling with trying to be sober as well. That's not an easy process. So if you know someone that's been sober for quite some time, even if it's been 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, send them a text and just always congratulate them. Let them know that it's amazing what they're doing, and that you recognize what they're doing and you appreciate what they're doing, because it's nothing like feeling like you're just doing stuff in vain, or you're just doing it because of others want you to do it. That's another thing. Don't do things because other people want you to do it. You have to want to do it for yourself. Because when you do it for others and you turn right around and go back to it, you don't realize how much hurt you put back into the person who was believing in you, who was happy for you, who was excited for you. You know, it hurts. It hurts. It hurts to know that at one point I felt so good that someone actually decided to um, go and check themselves into a treatment center and get help for substance abuse, only to find out that you did not stay long enough and now you're back out doing the same exact thing you went in for. Like, that's just pointless. It's hurtful. It's it's not, it's unthoughtful. It's it's selfish. It's very selfish because you wanted me to look at you in a certain way, knowing that you were going to get out and do the same thing. You just wanted to say that you tried. No, no, no. You could have tried harder. And at some point, those that I'm speaking of, at some point, yes, I am going to disclose names. It's just right now, it's not a time for name disclosure. So just know that people watches you. People understand you. Nowadays, these kids have no guidance. These kids suffer more from mental health than you would even imagine. And they're starting to suffer from mental health at really, really young ages. You know, a lot of parents feel like by me allowing them to do this and do that and be free and do this, they still are suffering inside. A lot of parents think because they give their child money or because they gave their child money when they growed up or because they kept a roof over their head. I mean, that was your responsibility for your child. Don't make your child feel bad because you kept a roof over his head because you decided you wanted to be horny to sleep with him, someone unprotected to have that child. That child did not actually come into this world. So don't ever make your kids feel bad or selfish that they should feel grateful that you had sex with someone because you was horny. Like, how could your child feel like you owe them everything because you were horny? Like, that is not fair at all. And that's quick. A lot of parents do that. Well, I kept a roof over your head and I kept food in the refrigerator for you to eat and I did this and I worked 4 jobs for that. That's because that was a decision that you made. You wasn't ready to be a parent, but no, you wasn't ready to put on straps either. You wasn't ready to have protected sex. That was your decision to have unprotected sex, which you knew what would happen. And then the parents get mad at these kids because now that they're grown, they're choosing to do other things. Yes, they're grown. They're doing other things. They have the right to do. We have the right to do that. I didn't ask to be here. You asked to be horny and have sex. And yes, I'm going to keep saying that because that was your decision to be horny. Half of the people that lay down to have sex unprotected is not thinking about that they might get pregnant or what they're going to do if they do get pregnant or if this child comes, am I going to be ready for it? None of you. Because at that time when you was having it, you was probably still living paycheck to paycheck, low income. So no, you wasn't ready. You had no money in the savings. You was not saving. Not only did you suffer, but you brought a child into this world, and now all of y'all are suffering. But yet you blame it on the child because you have to work 3 and 4 jobs now to take care of something that you accomplished. It's just not right. Your child do not owe you the world just because you had them or just because you put them under a roof as a child. They do not owe you the world. That causes a lot of mental health for these kids because that is very selfish to make your child feel like they owe you. They owe you for having unprotected sex, basically. Get out of here. Stop it with that. Please stop it. Stop running to this courthouse and putting these fathers on child support just because you're not having sex with them anymore. Kids need time with their parents. They need time. They're not getting those funds, and most of them are not. They need time. No father should be taking care of another family's household. Especially when you have a whole nother man there, a whole nother family there, and then the kids are grown. No man should still be taking care of you and your household, especially when they were there for you during all the times when you needed them the most. But the moment they decide to either leave or come out, they're the worst person in the world at that point. Like, get out of here with that. I just need people to understand all of those things can cause people to lose it. Those things can cause fathers to commit suicide very fast. That's why you're seeing a lot of black men committing suicide now. And I think I stated it before on a podcast earlier, to be honest with you. At one point in time, I would have rather take my life than to deal with unfair child support system. To deal with ungrateful kids. It does feel better. You know, it at one point that's how I felt. Like it just felt good. And a lot of times people don't understand, yes, doing that, committing suicide, of course, can hurt a lot of people. But what a lot of people do not understand, and I know I shared this on one of my podcasts before, is like you don't realize how many people you're actually hurting when you're doing that. You're hurting a lot of people. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. I do not agree with suicide. There are other options. On the other side, I do understand because I have been in that predicament before. I have been in that situation before. And yes, 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 yes. A lot of times it does feel better to just go ahead and let go because it's too much, too much, too much, too much. And there's constantly ungratefulness. It's constantly being treated ungrateful. It's constant being judged. It's constant being blamed. It's constant, again, like I said, unappreciative. You know, you could do so much for so many people. You make one mistake, they immediately write you off. Come on, people. That's not fair. That all plays in mental health. That causes a person's mental health to go really, really bad, you know? And at that point, you just feel like you have nothing else. You only got one option. You only have one option. You have another option, which would be to isolate yourself. But if you're isolating yourself, you're basically, the next step is to just go ahead and take your life. And that's not good. I don't know why people don't think that it's a good idea to just check in on people. Just check in on people. A lot of the stuff you see on social media is fake. It's so fake. That's why I'm so glad I'm able to post on my social media, my new social media. I look at my social media nowadays. I don't even go to the front screen. I probably said that before, but I don't go to the front screen very often. When I do, I'll probably look at the first 3 or 4 pictures and then I'm going back to my page because I'm able to look at my page and see my growth. And I love seeing that because that's what uplifts me. And I will say, I have noticed that at one point in the middle of my page, I saw growth, 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 growth. After treatment and coming home, I started seeing relapse, relapse, relapse. Pretending, pretending, pretending. I did. And that is the reason for my page because I get to see where I need to change things at and I need to do things a little different. I'm not posting as much as I used to because I don't feel the same way that I used to. in the last environment I was in, I don't feel the same way as I felt when I